don't know why my stream cut out so bad, but it did. And we're just going to sit here talking about the movie. Because, of course, we are. Not sure which one I want to do next after this one, but there's a lot of my experiences I need to rapid fire. Alright? And one of them has to be a Marvel movie, because I'm getting a little behind in terms of Marvel movies over here. I mean, other than that, we have Ant-Man, then I got the whole Civil War movie, so I gotta speed along with these and make sure to get them all out there to the world. Alright. Let's move on from this. So, it starts out with the Avengers fighting, trying to find Loki's scepter. I remember this moment. Everyone, like, Hulk was fucking throwing hands. Thor was doing things. Captain America was just being him. I thought it was cool. You got all that, bro. You got all that happening. Crazy shit. I love that first scene in the movie. Black Widow doing her thing. Hawkeye there. Cool shit. Cool shit all around. Alright? Anyways, I digress. Seeing Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch for a bit is nuts. So, for example, right? So, in the movie later on, but also in that moment, we get a blimp flash of Captain America and everybody fighting in that area to try to find Loki's scepter or whatever the fuck. And Quicksilver comes into the battlefield, quickly throws Captain America off his ass for a second, and basically Cap worries, saying, "We got a super in the field. Everybody, watch out for him. Don't try and if you can catch him, try. But I doubt you can do that because he's really, really fast, right?" And just seeing Quicksilver doing that stuff was kind of cool. But also seeing like Scarlet Witch for a little bit was also kind of cool. Seeing brother and sister in this movie / the verse. But anyways, I digress. Let's move on. Tony seeing all of his homies down like some. Oh yeah, this moment. So I'm gonna fly past this movie. So for anyone watching this, I'm gonna fly past this. So Tony seeing all of his homies down like some sort of dream is crazy. So basically, in this moment, after Tony and everybody like kind of defeated most of the dudes that what they're doing, Tony found the scepter, right? And basically, what ended up happening. Oh my God, I am a big fan. Appreciate it. Snoop and Mickey, hi. How you doing? Salutations. Or salutations, yeah. Basically, Tony touched it and was sitting there and was like, and basically got a dream that they all get murked. Like, legit. They all get murked right in front of him. All Tony sees, Hulk body, Hawkeye body, Black Widow body, Cap body, and basically Captain America pulls Tony in saying, "Why did you kill us?" And I'm like, yo, what type of trip is Tony on, man? Like, what? How the fuck can the Blue Stone do that shit to somebody? Like, make you hallucinate or whatever the fuck. I thought that shit was mad weird, fam. Thought that shit was weird, right? Tony and Banner secretly making Ultron behind folks' back. So this was a moment basically where Banner and Tony, they get a good idea to make Ultron. And Ultron is basically this big old robot dude that is supposed to protect all of humanity and all that other sort of shit. Also to give them a hand whenever shit hits the fan. But, big mistake, because the movie's about Ultron. Don't tell anyone I said that shit. Anyways. So that happens, and a little bit later after they make Ultron, what ends up happening is Ultron sparks to life way earlier than intended. And Jarvis, as a computer, is wondering, what the fuck are you? What are you doing? What's going on here? And blah, 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 all that other sort of shit. And Ultron is witnessing, he's getting like overflowed with information. This is the whole reason why Ultron goes rogue, by the way. Because he's like interested in looking at Tony Stark and other beings around the world. So that means, like, for example, he saw what Tony Stark did, what Stark Industries did to other people. He saw what people are doing to themselves over hundreds of years and all this other sort of shit. He saw all of that. and got overflowed with information that it kind of made him rogue. You know, it kind of made him realize, oh no, all these motherfuckers gotta go. And Ultron's first act of violence, before he shows up and does other things, was to murk Jarvis. Murk Jarvis so bad it broke Jarvis into fractures. If I remember correctly, that did happen. Ultron speaking to Jarvis speaking to Jarvis out, working him is crazy. Basically, like, overriding him. So it's overriding Jarvis, like I mentioned earlier. Thor and Tony comparing their ladies to each other was mad funny. Because if you guys remember, in this scene later on, after Ultron does that shit, Thor and Tony, they're all having a party. And during that party, you know, Thor and Iron Man, because keep this in mind, in the cinematic universe, right, in terms of the cinematic Marvel universe, Tony and Thor really don't get along all that well, because Iron Man always makes fun of Thor and all that other sort of shit, right? So that's why they don't really get along well. But you get it. But he was comparing Jane, saying Jane's a way better person than Pepper. And, you know, and Iron Man, a.k.a. I forgot his regular name. Tony was basically saying Pepper Potts is better than Jane Foster and all that other sort of shit. I just thought that little comparison game was funny. Everyone trying to lift up, like, Thor's hammer was hilarious. And seeing... basically seeing Captain America be able to move it, but not fully grasp it yet, and just seeing the look on Thor's face going, made me and Nick laugh like all hell, man. And by the way, yes, Nick and I are watching all these movies together. I just don't mention Nick sometimes because I A, either forget to mention him, or B, I just want to get shit moving, so I only mention my own thoughts, you know what I mean? Unless, you know, Nick wants to make his own video and shit, or unless he's a part of it. Which right now, for most of these reviews, he's not a part of it because he works late and all that other sort of shit. Anyways, that scene was funny. Ultron pulling up on everybody using Tony's other suits against them was savage. So basically, this broken down suit that Ultron had to make in quick succession, while everyone wasn't paying attention, everyone was just doing their thing, living their lives, thinking they did a good job, right? Ultron steps into the fray and basically calls out the Avengers and says some of the rawest shit on the planet. Basically saying, look at this, Earth's mightiest heroes. And everyone's wondering, who the fuck is that? What even are you? Who created you? And basically, you know, they all look at Tony because Tony's like the mechanical genius, you know, the dude who creates things and whatnot and so on and so forth, right? But anyways, that happens. Everyone pulls up on that Ultron. Ding, you know, they all have that little fight in the Stark Tower where basically, like, you got Thor, Captain America, you know, everybody just going in there doing crazy shit. It was amazing. Aiden, I'm gonna have to ask, sorry, bro, I don't know why you're doing that, but yeah, sorry. Not dealing with that in this review. But, yeah, that was fucking crazy. I love that moment in the thing. I love the moment in the movie where Ultron pulls up on everybody and he's just talking all that shit, but also fighting everybody all at once. But keep in mind, this isn't strong Ultron. This is weak Ultron when he just got built and it just got, like, his first, like, robotic body and shit. Anyways, number 9, Ultron's plan to save the world by getting rid of humans and replacing them with robots, because basically Ultron's entire fucking thing is basically he sees humans as fucking worthless. He sees humans as basically making the same mistakes over and over and over again and doesn't believe in our evolution. He doesn't believe in us. So basically, he is going to wipe all of us out and replace it all with robotic life. Because at least with robots, they can be controlled, completely controlled, with no hesitation, no fight back, no none of that, and basically rid the world of all of its problems. Even though, in my opinion, I feel like Ultron's hella wrong because there is purpose in us, even with our mishaps, but Ultron doesn't understand any of that. he's on the deep end of it all. But anyways, I digress. That was a moment. Ultron goes for Kuel. The doctor for business / information was kind of raw. Basically, because this QA girl was a doctor for Stark. She basically said, I have to work here to help people heal and recover, and I'm a pretty smart doctor and I know what I'm doing, basically. She's really knows what she's doing, and she's also really intelligent on the human body, anatomy, and all that shit, and how that works. She said, in my tech facility, I could have gotten this motherfucker done 20 times faster, if I was over where I was at, even though I'm just show this bitch bragging. But, anyways, Ultron finds her and basically says, bitch, let me tell you, you're coming with me because you can link me to a more humanoid body and all that other sort of shit. You can do that to make me also out of this robotic one or whatever the fuck. Just whatever. Right? I thought that moment was kind of raw. Number 11, Ultron versus the Avengers. Or not Krull. Oh no, Krull is not the doctor bitch, but you get my point. Krull is this dude that does weapons and business deals. My bad. Mistake that I made. But Ultron versus the Avengers in Krull's place was raw because it was Krull's men versus the Avengers. The Avengers versus Ultron. Ultron versus the Avengers and Krull's men. It was a whole thing in a fucking little small factory joint. And I also love how Scarlet Witch and Silver Speedster fucker, whatever the fuck, are also on the scene as well. Hawkeye being the only one not being under Witch's control. So basically Scarlet Witch for most of the movie is able to fuck with everybody's minds. And basically what ended up happening is they fuck around with Cap's mind, Thor's mind, Black Widow's mind. They end up fucking most of the Avengers up really, really badly. To the point that they are tripping, they're hallucinating, and it takes them a long time for them not to get out of the effects of Scarlet Witch's bullshit, right? And I just love the fact that Hawkeye was the one that sensed her coming before everyone else did, or after everyone else went down, shocked her right in the head because she needs to get kind of close before she can manipulate and get in his head. Basically shocks her bitch ass the fuck out, knocks her out. That's a whole thing and everything. And I think the speedster dude kind of goes over quickly to where she's at, knocks Hawkeye out or something, or takes the Avengers away. But that was after the fact that she also got the Hulk, which Hulk versus the Hulkbuster Iron Man suit was easily one of the best fights in this entire movie. It is literally Hulk and Iron Man thrashing down in the entire city of New York. Everyone sees Hulk as a threat now, and it was such a massive fight. I don't want to spoil it, even though it is 2025. You guys remember, I can't show clips because Disney will be on my ass. Anyways, everyone being so affected by the witch's magic is just so sad. Just seeing everybody being so affected and so fucked up, it's actually insane. It actually really boggles my mind how fucked up everyone was by the witch's magic. Black Widow opening up to Banner about herself was deep. So basically, I'm going to say this now. I have no idea why they made Natasha fall in love with Bruce. Even though Bruce, if we are including the Incredible Hulk in the MCU timeline, don't you think Betty, in this case Betty, if you guys remember Betty from the Incredible Hulk, don't you think that Hulk would be like, whoa, get off of me, I like somebody else already, or I have an interest in somebody else, or I can't be interested in somebody else because the green guy will come out if I do anything to stress myself out, or if I get too excited, or all sorts of other feelings and emotions, right? And I just thought, Black Widow kind of liking Banner, and don't get me wrong, it's not the weirdest thing, but I always found it, crazy, just weird. I always found it weird. I think even me and Nick talked about it, and I found it weird that she just suddenly, out of the blue, likes Hulk like that, wants to run away with Banner, wants to be a regular girl with him, basically have a relationship with him. And I thought it's one of the weirdest things because Black Widow knows Bruce like the back of her hand. She knows what he's capable of if he gets mad. Let's say this, they fuck. They have sex, right? And guess what? Turns to the green guy, her uterus is completely destroyed from the inside out. Well, actually, they can't even fuck anyway because Black Widow's entire uterus and all that reproductive organ shit was taken out already. Like, was taken out of Black Widow, so she can't really do what normal girls go through and all that other sort of shit. But you get my point. It's weird that she was really feeling that way towards Bruce Banner. And I know most people might be thinking to me right now, well, Alan, she's a girl. She obviously, you know, has her emotions. She obviously can love him without the sex part. I'm just saying. It was really weird, especially in this movie when there was no build up to it in prior movies with these characters involved. Anyways, moving on. Ultron making Jarvis was kind of scary to watch. So basically, Ultron forced the doctor chick that I was talking about to not make Jarvis, but get ready to prepare for him to switch into Jarvis's body. Or something, or make him a body. It was either one of the two. Captain America versus Ultron on the truck was really cool set piece. Loved it. Ultron's speech towards Natasha. Towards Natasha was freaking crazy. I can't remember the speech, so I'm just going to go over and say it was cool. The awakening of Vision was mad cool. Everyone fighting till Thor came in and awoken him was rad. So basically, everybody in Stark Tower was like getting on Tony's ass for basically creating Ultron and creating most of this mess in the first place, right? And, you know, the Avengers found out before this scene, they found out that Tony was going to try and make Jarvis, a.k.a. Vision. Vision and what's-his-face are two different beings, right? And the Avengers didn't want Tony creating another Ultron, like two Ultrons. So that's why they were going to, like, stop Tony, fight him, or whatever. But Banner and Tony were like, no, we need to create something to help stop Ultron because he's so strong and whatnot and everything else like that, right? So, seeing everyone fighting each other until Thor steps in, the literal god, steps in and awakens him. And basically, as well, Thor as well before this said, I need to go somewhere. I need to go find answers. I won't find them here. That's why he flew off earlier on in the movie. But also came back to that moment to reawaken Vision and explain to everybody why Vision is necessary for this mission. And why having the Mind Stone and somebody that can use the Mind Stone and is on our team is better than having them against us. And then it was a whole thing. Anyways, Vision's speech about what side he's on and him picking up Thor's hammer was pretty cool. Because I remember everybody was stunned when they saw Vision pick up Thor's hammer because he's technically the first person to pick it up and give it to Thor, saying, we don't have enough time, we need to stop Vision, and we're gonna do it quick. Thor and everybody's like, so does that mean he rules Asgard? More or less. Moving on. Anyways, I thought that shit was pretty funny. Ultron bringing up Sokovia up into the sky. Like, oh god, this was one of the craziest moments in the entire movie. So Ultron over here, and yes, I'm using notes because I don't remember. Every time I watch a movie, I don't remember a lot, so that's the reason why I write it down. But for video games, I can remember because video games stick in my mind better than movies do. Anyways, Ultron literally takes Sokovia. His plan, again, is to murk all human life, human extinction, basically, and robots will take over. AKA, I will take over the world, and me alone. And basically, he rises up a bit of Sokovia, like it's Angel Island from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And literally, everybody is like, what the fuck at this? And I thought that was raw as fuck, just watching Sokovia, a literal place, go up in the air like crazy. It was funny. Wanda choosing to fight because of how Hawkeye gets her awake. So basically, this moment is where all the Avengers are already trying to fight multiple bots of Ultron over and over on that broken piece of Sokovia that's being lifted into the air 24/7. Wanda, after a while, she's getting scared. She's getting bullied. She also doesn't want to work for Ultron anymore, but she's also really scared. Quicksilver and her also both on Ultron and betray him as well because they realized human extinction is fucking wrong. Sure, we hate Tony and we want revenge on him personally for putting us through the shit that we went through. But human extinction, that is fucking wrong. So they decided to team up with the good guys. But Wanda is really fucking scared. She's hearing explosions. She's hearing explosions, people screaming, people dying. And keep in mind, Quicksilver, figured out his name, Quicksilver and Wanda, they are kids that were traumatized by Stark Industries like around Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, when all the missiles were going off and blowing up random towns and civilians and all that other shit. So Wanda hearing that again, the screaming and all the bad stuff over and over and over and over and over again, all that other sort of shit was really, really bad for her. It wasn't worth it for her, you know. She was really, really scared. And Hawkeye said this, right? Hey, I can't babysit and fight at the same time. So I want you to make a choice. You can stay in here until the fighting's all over and possibly die. Or whatever. Stay in here, stay safe. Don't let one of the Ultron motherfuckers get your bitch ass. Or you can get the fuck up, quit bitching, you know, about being scared and shit, and actually help us out. The more members we have on the team, and since your powers are incredibly OP and OD, you would be really helpful in the field. So I would really appreciate it if you just picked an option, because I can't babysit you regardless, right? And because of that speech, and I know I butchered the quote Hawkeye said to Wanda, but basically Wanda got inspired to fight because of Hawkeye. She's finally awake. She wants to fight as an Avenger. She like this, the Ultron fight was the first time she fought as an Avenger. This wasn't training, this wasn't nothing. This is the first time she decided to do something on her own accord. And I really like that because Wanda is an OD character that no one should fuck with. And we get that when we watch the later movies of Avengers. I digress, right? Thor and Vision team attack on Ultron was rad. The Avengers working together to protect the core goes so hard because keep in mind, if one robot gets the core, everybody is fucked. So you got Hulk in the same room, Vision, Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, all teaming up on these Ultron bots, and Ultron himself fighting right in front of the core, basically. Fighting to protect it, and it was so cool watching that scene. Even in 2025, all these years later, it was still so fucking raw to watch, and I wish I could show you, but I can't. I can't show too much. I could probably show like 1 to 2 scenes, but I don't even want to risk that, so we're not doing that. Anyways, Quicksilver dies protecting Hawkeye was kind of sad, and I kind of wish he had more screen time in the movie before going out, but it was sad that he went out. Sokovia being completely destroyed by Iron Man's and Thor's attack was crazy because basically Sokovia was going down because, again, they failed to protect the core, which means Sokovia was going down, right? And basically, Thor and Iron Man had to combine their powers, like the magnetic energy of Thor and Iron Man, to destroy Sokovia, right? But by destroying Sokovia, that bit of Sokovia that went into island like Angel Island, right? They had to destroy it fast. But because they destroyed it, there were so many lives that they lost. But also lives saved, because on the meanwhile of all of this, the Avengers were also saving civilians that were trapped in Sokovia that went into the sky with Ultron's plan and whatnot and so on and so forth, right? They escaped, went into some Avengers, Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. pods and all that other sort of shit, whatever, so on and so forth. And I just think it's sad that that because of this, like the next movie that we're going to get into, aka, well, the movie after the next one, the punishment of that event happens, but I digress. I don't blame them for destroying it. They had no choice, and I don't blame Iron Man, because he thought of a scenario. Everybody or a good chunk of people going out, and there's no good choice. None at all. And Iron Man knew the stakes, and he took that risk because he had to. Otherwise, everybody was going out, and nobody wanted that. Anyways, Ultron and Vision's last talk was kind of deep because basically Ultron and Vision in this moment, I might even actually show you the moment, but basically they were talking about how humanity is doomed. Like, basically, Ultron was saying, humanity's doomed, humanity's fucked, why are you protecting them? Fuck them, right? And basically, my man's was like, no, not fuck the humans. The humans are a blessing to this world. They are able to evolve it and also de-evolve it. And sure, they have a lot of mistakes. And you're right, they are doomed. But there is blessing in their failures. And I was born yesterday. And basically after that, Ultron, tried to charge Jarvis and basically said no. And Vision kind of murked off the last bit of Ultron, and that was kind of it. And then 28 was the bit I mentioned earlier about Natasha and Banner basically being a thing, being really weird in this movie. Final thoughts. Age of Ultron was filled with good lines, quotes, good action pieces, fantastic movie. Fuck, this movie is good. This movie is really, really, really good. Age of Ultron, if you guys didn't like Avengers, right? If the regular Avengers didn't convince you to like this shit, I definitely think Age of Ultron would convince you to like this shit. Because Age of Ultron has a good plot, good set of characters on the good side and bad side. Especially Ultron as a character. Ultron was so popular in this fucking movie that literally he is still being used today because of everything he did in this movie. Because of everything he did in this movie, he did not just become a forgotten machine. This character, Ultron, became a fucking menace in later Marvel showings and other things. But yeah, that's my review of Age of Ultron. It is a fucking good movie. It's solid. There were so many good moments, so many sad moments, so many funny moments, so many good moments in between. Action was amazing. Everything about this movie was fucking amazing. I mean, what did you expect? It's me talking about Avengers again. Of course I'm going to love the Avengers. Of course I'm going to love the shit. You know what I mean? Of course I'm going to love it. And next time we'll probably do, well, not probably, we will be doing like Ant-Man, and then after that we'll be doing, Civil War. And all that other sort of stuff. But anyways, we watched, I watched the movie like April 5th, 2025, and yeah, great fucking movie, man. Great movie. Phenomenal movie. Whew! Damn, I had to rush that one, but yeah. Phenomenal movie. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends. God bless you all. I know I didn't say that for the last videos because I'm just trying to get a move on, but God bless your souls. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Avengers! Hi. Can't do it yet. Wrong movie.